Hello everyone, this is Byron. I hope you are doing great as always. Today's video will be talking about overclocking our RTX 5060 Ti. I have it from MSI Shadow 2X OC Plus. This one doesn't have an option to unlock the power limit to more than 100 on MSI Afterburner. It's just on the stock setting, which is the 180 TDP. Some cards allow pushing it more to like 103 percent or 110% even, which is better. So if you have that slider, letting you push it for more to 103 or 110, just push it to that, and just to maintain stability and highest possible clock speed being applied on your card, of course, while maintaining good temperature. So with our card here, we can do on the memory clock up to actually 3000. Let's just reset all those settings. On the memory clock, I found that 1850 to be the sweet spot for me. It's not that the card cannot go higher, it can go up to 2200 or even 2500. But the thing is, the performance gain that I get over 1850 is very minimal, equals to 1 FPS or 2 at max. Not really worth it. And I just decided that, well, I wanted the most efficient thing to do, keeping the VRAM temperature also down. But it doesn't mean that doing 2200 is, thermal throttling your VRAM chips or anything like that. So you can do the testing. Of course, 8850 will work for all users. But you can try 2200, see if the gain is noticeable for you. If you want it, if you're on the absolute best, you can go for that, or even 2500. But I wouldn't advise it for more than 2200 because it might, you know, um, trigger ECC. That thing is like uh, constantly corrects, yeah, the miscalculations that happens when you overclock the VRAM for too much, and that actually decreases the performance even worse than the stock settings. So you have to keep testing a lower memory clock frequency at first and keep pushing it for more to see if the ECC is being triggered or not. Moving forward, the cool clock, most users said that they were able to do 250 up to 350 or even 400 at times. But for me, I found the best performance was to be at 350 to 360 plus on the core. It resulted to about 10 to actually 13% more performance. It was performance uplift on almost all games. I could achieve 10 FPS more or even more than that in some titles. But the thing is, uh, in um, in the power usage of that GPU, I was being power capped by the V-bias, which is at 180 watts. I couldn't really, get past a certain frequency that was 3097 or 3100, and I was having a card use 180 watts most of the time when it's being fully utilized. So I found a better solution for those who have the same card as mine, or those who want less power usage and more, the best performance they could achieve is by, applying both undervolt and overclock. That was the best case scenario, but it requires some testing. You'd have to test it out to see, the best mark. And I have some preset that might work for you, might not, but you have to test it out. So what I do is I just move the memory clock to 1850 first, like that, and then press Control F on your keyboard to get the voltage frequency curve editor tab. And you see at the bottom a voltage millivolt. Those are the numbers here. And at the left, you see the frequencies. It goes up to 3400. So if you do want to do a simple undervolt, because you actually want to have like the same performance of the stock settings or even lower a little bit and have like your PC use at most 120 watts or so, you could just like grab the 975 millivolt mark, hold in shift key, and maybe move it to 2800, 2850, and then hold on shift button, on your keyboard, and left click on your mouse, and then align all those dots, and then grab the one on the right of the one that you just dragged, pull it down at the bottom, and then click apply. They will get flattened. So that way you didn't undervolt, and your card will just consume less wattage, and at the same performance or a little bit performance loss, but that's about it. But if you do want more performance and lower power consumption, we have to revert all that, just the memory clock overclock that we did at first, apply it, and then go to the 1025 millivolt mark. Some people say they can achieve at the highest frequency like 3112 or 3150 on 1 millivolt. I doubt that. Doesn't work on most cards. You'd have to have a silicon lottery. You can try that. But for me, the sweet spot was 1025 millivolts. You can actually aim for 1020, maybe 1015 even. But for me, the most stable was 1025. So I do the same. I hold down shift button and I drag the dot upwards, like say for 3205. And then do the same, hold down shift key and hold down left click, align those, drag this to the bottom and click apply. To remove this blue thing, you just have to click left click, double click, left click on any area here. They're gone. All right. So after that, you can just test your GPU on any benchmarking tool you want. Is it like Heaven Benchmark or Superposition? But I found that Superposition is like more demanding. It actually like stress tests your GPU more than Heaven Benchmark. I see that Heaven Benchmark is like outdated now. You can use the 1080p Extreme or use the 4K optimized. But if you want to see like higher scores with memory and see the memory actually affecting the score, you'd have to use the 4K optimized, because I couldn't really notice any improvement with the 1080p Extreme. So at 4K optimized at stock settings without me touching anything in MSI Afterburner, I was getting around 12,000 to 11,900 as a score. Now, after I've overclocked my card to that exact preset, I was able to score 13,400 on superposition, and that's about more than 10% performance uplift, about 12% even on actually lower power usage. Because you see, if you do assemble like 350 or even 360 on a core, and then you do memory of 1850, what happens is your card, as I said before, gets power capped if it's not if it's limited to 180 watt like my card. It won't pass a certain mark because of that power limit, and also the card's temperature actually increases. It goes, for me, for instance, to 76 and 77 degrees Celsius. But I wanted to keep it cool to about 72, 71, given that we are in summer as well. So 71 to 72 degrees Celsius was very good to me. That was actually the stock temperature, and I could have about 12 to 13% performance more. So the curve, the undervolt and overclock method is actually the best from what I've seen. And then doing just like a plus on the core, putting it more it's just simple. You could just do 400 maybe, for instance, and unlock the power limit to the memory to 2200, but you just see a crazy wattage number being used. Increases your electricity bill, your temperature, it stresses out the VRMs on your GPU. It's not really worth it if you could achieve the same performance, almost near the same performance, with power being used at like 170, 165, even lower than the TDP that is bought by NVIDIA itself, the 180 watts. You use about 170 at max. So that's about it. You can do the tests and see what numbers you could score at what millivolt, and you could just copy my settings. I am certainly sure they will work for most users that have the RTX 5060 Ti. And until next one, thank you for watching. Bye bye.